G'day. Hang on. G'day. Aussie Bonsai Bloke here. Go. Well, I think we can all admit when we go collecting bonsai, it's not always strictly legal. You know, maybe you see a nice tree on the side of the road, think, oh, no one will miss it. It's just a small tree. You know, they spray the verges anyway. You know, whatever. You know, we bend the lines of legality. Anyway, nearly everyone in bonsai can relate to this. You know, you see something on the side of the road, you think, oh, I might collect that. No one will miss it. Well, anyway, right now is a bit of a situation like that. I'm gonna head out and under the cover of darkness stick a tree that I've been eyeing off. So, although, you know, on the morals it's a small tree, no one will miss it. Strictly on the borderline of the legality of it all. But anyway, I'm going to sneak away in the cover of darkness and dig this tree. I'll just show you. I'm just loading the car. Okay. So I reckon I can get away with just the shovel. Shall load in there. And my little pickaxe. Guess I need to cut some fairly severe roots. And I reckon I can get away with that. This is exciting, boys. Bring it on. Let's go. Okay, good day. Just about to leave my place. And we're just heading for the collecting grounds. And we're in the cover of darkness. Cheers. Okay, we're just rolling up on the grounds where I found that tree. It's underneath one of these trees here. So, you know, like I say, you cannot tell if I take a small one out from underneath there. You just cannot tell. It'll probably die anyway. And the sheep have been eating it, so I'm going to sneak in there and grab it. No worries. Cheers for watching this slightly immoral video, but as far as I'm concerned, out of all the things the world's, you know, humans doing to the place, this is nothing. Cheers. Okay guys, I'm on the side of the road here. I'll just turn my light off so it doesn't glare. On the side of the road here, I'm trying to keep quiet. Just sneaking along. Been eyeing this one off for a little while. I'm not even sure what sort of tree it is. All I know, sheep have been eating it on the side of the road. It's quite small, very small, and I'm just trying to keep a little bit quiet because there's a few houses around here, and hopefully they won't see the light. And if they do, we might have to make a bolt for it. But anyway, it's unfortunate, you know. I just want to talk about it for a second. It's unfortunate that in Australia we can't get permits to dig trees like in America or whatever. And it's unfortunate that quite often we have to do borderline illegal collecting if we want our native trees. And to be honest, I don't even know what this is or whether it will survive. Australian trees don't survive that well, so it could well die. But having said that, you know, it is a small stunted tree, and generally the root system mimics the top, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, what I was getting to, you know, in Australia we have some serious laws that stop you from being able to go and collect in the wild. Even permits, they just don't allow them. And I'm not talking for endangered species, I'm even talking for olives. Olives are classed as a damn weed, yet pretty much anyone that has a stump of an olive and they've collected it, a lot of them have been collected on the side of the road, to be honest, in, you know, somewhat illegal conditions. And, you know, it's a bit of a bummer that our authorities are like that, but, you know, it's sort of like an overprotective sort of, you know, state or country. And even on the side of the road, collecting a pest species which is classed as a weed is still slightly illegal. This is probably a little bit more borderline because it's a native, but anyway, we're going to give it a go, and hopefully no one turns up and has a go at me. I don't think they will, but I didn't just stumble across this one either. Like, I've been driving past it for a while and been looking at it, and I thought, oh, you know, that thing's pretty cool, and I've stopped and looked at it a few times, and I thought, you know, and then today I thought, today's the day. Spring, almost. Perfect time to collect. And I'll try and give it some good aftercare and see what happens. I know Australian natives don't collect very well and the roots go a long way away, but we'll see what happens. I'll have to even find out what plant it is. I don't even know what plant it is. But anyway, that's that. That's my little spiel. You know, Australia is pretty hard to... I mean, for a country with a lot of bushland, you can't collect it. We can't import. Australia's not allowed to import trees at all. You know, which is fine, I understand it. No bugs, whatever. But if they allowed people to collect trees and things in the wild, you know, people would grow them in their own gardens and stuff. Even more so than they do now. And at the same time, they allow farmers to clear massive, you know, paddocks, you know, big bare paddocks. They just clear all the trees, and they're worried about one person taking one tree. That's where I think it's, you know, that's why I sort of don't really adhere to the rules too much. But anyway, that's us out here. Don't tell anyone. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, collected a tree. That is pretty damn exciting. I'm loving it. This is the opportunity to get a different tree without having to grow it in a pot. And that's the whole excitement of a Yamadori or a, you know, collected tree. This is completely wild. I'll give you a quick look at the trunk, and then we better start digging and hope that we don't get caught. Cheers. Okay, down here you can see, oh man, it's not picking up right, but anyway, there we go. It's got this beautiful trunk down here, which seems to taper out a bit. Tapers out a bit. It's got this nice branch structure up here, going into this old tree that's been, like I say, cut back by the farmer's sheep. And if the sheep are allowed to cut it back, well, I guess we're allowed to try and collect it. No, I'm on the fringes of legality here, but it's good fun. So I'm going to see what we can find. I'm going to dig a big circle around the tree, dig it out, fill in the hole, then cut the tree back a bit, you know, just so it doesn't, you know, take too much moisture out of the roots when we get the new roots. and we'll see how we go. Cheers. Okay, looks like we got some success. Alright, so what we got here, so we got the tree out. Like I say, long roots away from the base. We've got a few fibrous roots here, very few. And then the long roots, and then there's a tree. So we're really hoping, you can see this rock. Let's go down in this rock. It was growing down in that big rock. So now what we've got to do is seriously massive aftercare. And the chances of survival for this tree are 50-50, you know. I'm gonna have to cut it back really hard. Missed it a lot. Put it in some really porous sort of mix where it doesn't collect a lot of water, gets a lot of air, and then just water it very frequently. But yeah, she's tough, and this is the Australian natives. This is what you expect when you collect them. You don't get a lot with them, and that's another reason, you know, apart from it being marginally illegal, it's also very hard to keep them alive if you do dig them up. In a lot of places there might be some pockets of areas where you've got really swampy ground or a boulder and a hollow, but for the vast bit of Australia, it's sandy and your roots are going to run, and it's pretty hard to collect Australian natives without killing them. Anyway, we'll get this one back to the car. You know, I think I've got out of here okay. No one's come up yet, and see how we go. I just hope you can still see that beautiful tree. Absolutely beautiful tree. Let's hope she lives. And furthermore, let's see what the hell she is. It's bugging me if I know what it even is. No worries. Cheers. Oh, another thing too. You know, once you've done that, you don't just leave your hole. Fill it all in nicely. I'll fill this back in nicely. Fill it back in around the rock. And, you know, make it look like you've never been here. And to be honest, you know, 99 times out of 100, no one's going to miss that tree. They're not even going to know it was there because it was a small stunted tree in amongst some bigger trees and in a fairly harsh environment. No one's even going to know it's there. So don't feel too bad about it. No, I don't. Just fill it in like you've never been here and then move on. No worries. It's pretty good. You know, grass will grow over that pretty quickly. Done. Alright, let's get to potting the tree. Cheers. Okay, I got everything in one hand, tree, shovel, torch. Just gonna make our way back to the car. Got it nice and covered in, so the grass will cover over that again. No one will ever know. And to be honest, no one really cares. But anyway, you know, that's collecting in Australia. We do a little bit of stuff that's just slightly on the edge of legality, but you know, if you end up with a nice tree, why not? Like I say, here's a big tree next to it. You can see. I'll head my way back into the car and let's get the shit out of here, mate. Okay, let's chuck it all in the car. We do have a bit of a problem. My boot doesn't like to stay open. So I'll just chuck everything in one by one or whatever. And then let's get the heck out of here, man. Don't want to bloody hang around the scene of a crime, do we? Hey? Shut that light off. Okay. Let's chuck my newfound tree in there. Okay, so the new tree's in the back. It's not the best view of it either. Pretty cool from sort of like that view of it. Alright, let's go. There's not a lot of roots, I know that. So, you know, please refrain from telling me that because I know that's Australian natives. But that's actually pretty good for a tree collected in the wild. It's actually a decent amount of roots. So I'm going to really try and look after it and see how we go. Cheers. And I'll get it in a pot. G'day. Welcome back. Well, I'm in the shed now. So obviously no one caught me. Got the tree, big taproot, some other roots. There is a few fine feeder roots around here. We've got to be extremely careful not to wreck any of those. What will fit in the pot here, I will allow to stay. I'll cut this one back. I'll cut the taproot back. And really, you can't be too picky on what stays, you know. Pretty much whatever fits in the pot is going to stay because you want to keep whatever you can of these trees. These are all bent around, they're fine. The feeder roots are fine. There's one root there which is a bit of a pain. I could cut this one back. This one's got hardly anything on it. Okay. And that allows that to fit in that pot. And I'll just pot that up because depending on which way I want it to go. Anyway, I'll pot it up like that because I just don't want to cut too much off. Even though it only just fits in there with these long roots. All of that's going to stay, these are going to stay. And then all I've got to do now is I'm just going to go through and I'm literally going to chop a lot of the top of the tree out because the amount of foliage at that top of the tree is ridiculous to the amount of roots that we've now got left. You know, it looked like a small tree in the ground, but once you get it out the ground, it's a reasonable sized tree. You know, in bonsai terms, it's, you know, a medium sized tree, but in the ground it looked tiny compared to the rest of the trees around it. And that's the thing, you know, you gotta think about how many roots you got to how much foliage you got, and you're seriously gonna have to cut it back pretty hard. These things, I don't know what it is again, but they're extremely dense in their foliage, you know. So there's a lot of foliage in here, and no doubt it was supported by a fairly big root system, which now it doesn't have. You don't have to go in like a broom style cut right now. You can, you know, if you've got a really strong branch coming out, you can follow that. And then just follow it back down in. It doesn't, you know, adds to the interest. You got one strong branch that you trim around, then a weak area where you cut in. And then we're hoping that we can have this tree recover from this. It's a massive, massive expectation on a tree, especially an Australian native. If this was an olive, I'd have no hesitation. You know, all the leaves would drop off if it was an olive. You could flat cut it here if you wanted to, if it was an olive, and it would reshoot fine. But being an Australian native, absolutely no chance of that. I'm going to have to look after it. I'm probably going to put it in a, well, definitely in a fairly aerated mix. And then I'm probably going to be putting a garbage bag over the top to just keep it hydrated, because I don't have the time or the system to, you know, have it regularly miss the tree. But a garbage bag over the top acts a bit the same. The dogs decide to come up here and go, Papa, man, you don't eat those roots? No. You eat them, buddy? No. No. Down. Good boy, Papa. So yeah, that's it. So, what was I saying? So garbage bag over the top. Once I've trimmed it back, got it in the pot, I'll put a garbage bag over the top. Another thing I might show you is, you know, since the dog's here. Whoa! He just knocked the camera and he's barking at me. Oi! Enough! Don't muck around. No barking. Come on. Okay. Come up here. No barking. Don't bark. And anyway, so I thought because the dog's playing up here, what I could do, so I could actually show you some of the obedience training that we've been doing. Just to show you he's not completely feral, as much as some of you probably think he is, considering he's eating me treat at the moment, but he's not completely. Alright, so that's probably nearly enough for the cutting of the foliage. It's going to be a garbage bag around it, and we'll put it in probably some sawdust, I reckon. Cheers. Right, so we got it trimmed down, bit of a sort of weird apex here and tree hanging out there, so it might be the shape we're after. It could go this way as well. Some interesting branching. Let's just hope it survives. If it does, it could end up being a good tree. But anyway, like I said, at best a 50-50 chance, but you know, that can end up into a 0 chance if it dies, basically. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to put a garbage bag over the top. Try and look after it, or maybe not a garbage bag, but a clear bag. Try and look after it best I can. Keep some water up to it. and see what happens. But fingers are crossed, I tell you that, because it is a nice tree, and I've been driving past it, looking at it for a fair while, so I am really excited about it. So this is just sawdust, a lot of sawdust. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Holy crap. Freaking hell, hope I like sawdust. Got it every bloody where. So what was I saying? Something like that would be the front. Okay, so I've chopped enough of the roots off to get the front, but there is still some feeder roots around it, and I'm going to keep it nice and moist. The sawdust will allow a lot of air in there, so that's another hope. We really are hoping with this thing. Okay, so it's in there. Now I've got to try and do this without getting a bloody face full of sawdust again. Okay, this sawdust, by the way, is completely dry, absolutely 100% dry, and I'm going to be running water through it to really moisten it up, but it's easier to pack around the roots when it's dry, so just put a bit more around. We really hope this survives, I really do. Such a cool tree. Would, tell a good story, collecting a native that survives with fairly little roots. Another way some people collect natives, they put them in basically gravel and water, and I've done that. Oh, there's sawdust. Oh, it's getting down the lungs, but I've done it. I've collected natives with gravel and water, and I'll show you that another day. But anyway, out of the experiment, only 2 survived out of about 10, so I wouldn't call that a huge success. One was out the backyard of my own place, the other one I collected from the wild, but I have to say the one I collected from the wild, even though it survived, the trunk died and it just pushed one little shoot from the bottom, so pretty crappy anyway. You may as well say it died. Hell, it might even be a seed that grew that was in the ground, and after all the water on it, the seed germinated, who knows, but it's just coming up beside the trunk and then popping out, so who knows. I can show you that in another video. Okay, so this sawdust in there, I'll water it in. You can see it actually makes them fairly stable. And once I water it in, I'll put the garbage bag over it. Cheers. Well, the plastic bag. Cheers. Okay, so here's my wild collected tree. Going to water it down. Like I said, I'm going to put a garbage bag over it. In an ideal world, you'd have it probably in a hot house and mist it. Treat it like a cutting. And I will be treating it like a cutting with a bag over the top to keep the moisture in. Such little roots on it, you have to treat it like a cutting. And unfortunately, most of Australian natives, when you collect them, that's what you're going to get, There's, we have predominantly sandy soils. Even though where I collected it, there's some clay, some rock, the roots still elongate pretty well and take off. And you can see that was a stunted short tree, and the roots were still a long way away from the tree. So So I mean, you know, it's very hard to collect Australian natives. I think the trick to collecting them in the future, apart from some of those primo spots where you can find a root ball in a rock, I think the secret will be someone with enough horticultural knowledge, no matter what roots they have, to keep them alive basically as a cutting and get them to root. So I think that's where the trick will be for Australian natives. I don't think it'll be in primo collection sites. I think it'll be the fact of trying to get the trees to survive when generally they wouldn't. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this one. I'm hopeful. Like I said, I got a few roots. Possibly a 50-50, 40-60, depending which way, how positive you are. But anyway, so that's that. So I'll do that. There's probably enough water for now. It's really wet, the sawdust here. And now all I have to do is put a bag over the top. And I made a bit of a debate as to whether I just put a black bag over the top, which will maybe stop a lot of the mould, which could be a good idea. And they still let sunlight through, or I could put a clear bag, which could create some mould issues. I think in the short term, I'll probably go with the black plastic bag. But first I'll just give you a spin of the tree. Just want to show you, I'll give you a spin on Adrian's turntable, which I showed you before. If I can find the bloody thing. Got no idea where I put it. But anyway, this is the turntable that I've been showing in the other videos. And this is a smaller one. These are from Adrian, Tweed Bonsai Club. But the smaller one has the same mechanism inside. So I'll show you, you don't have to have a big one. If you've got a smaller pot like this one, you can run the smaller one and it's just as strong. I'll put the big one next to it. I'll just show you. The small one's just as strong. Spins just as well. And if you do purchase the smaller one, you can always put a square bit of wood on it or something if your pot's too big for it. And it's certainly got the 140 kilo mechanism in there to handle it. That's from Adrian. I'll just show you his phone number again, just for those of you who haven't seen. Sorry, I won't do this in every video, it's just that I just got it from him and I'm pretty keen to show you guys, and also extremely appreciative that he sent it to me as well. So that's Adrian, Spinning Tree Turntables. Check him out. If you do buy one, make sure you drop my name, Aussie Bonsai Bloke. And yeah, cheers for that. So, like I say, I won't show him in every video, but at the moment I'm still pretty excited about how I got him. So, anyway, last spin of the tree. This is all natural. I've just given it a bit of a hack back because it was a fairly large bush out here. Mainly just so there's less foliage for the bare roots to support. You know, there's buggerel roots and we don't want them to work too hard. They may have to already work too hard, but we'll see. Okay, so from the front, I'd say this will probably end up being the front around here somewhere. You got this leaning at you, that out to the side. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't need to juice that now. Let's just hope it survives and try and do that. No worries. I'll put the bag over it, black bag. And then she'll just sit after this black bag goes on, she's going to just sit out in the sun, fairly cool weather, and she'll sit out in the sun for the next however long until she starts to show signs of life. Could be a bit of a wriggle around to try and get this black bag on, so I might cut you out for it rather than get you to watch the whole thing. In fact, I don't even know where this black bag's going to fit, but anyway. It's just to keep the foliage nice and humid. In fact, even if this black bag didn't go on this pot, even like that would just help immensely to keep the moisture in there. And that may be enough, you know. But in this case, I think it'll just fit. I think it will. Just make sure I've got all the bag that I can possibly get. Okay, and then wrap it around the side of the pot. And, you know, doesn't look pretty, but not meant to. So that's it. So it'll stay like that, you know, and I'll check on it occasionally, see how it's going. Does not look pretty. Looks like a mummy tree. But anyway, that's it. So there we go. That's collecting in Australia. A little bit, you know, howdy-doody as far as the legality side of things. But that's how you have to collect in Australia. They don't give out permits. And obviously you can go to private land, but even some private land is still protected under the National Protection Act for the, you know, native flora and fauna. So anyway, that's it. Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Okay, so this little bit's just to show you the dog's not completely crazy all the time. He does sort of half listen, especially if you got some food. But anyway, he's a beautiful dog. He's never going to be perfect, and I'm sure this demonstration won't be perfect about his learning ability, but we're trying. You know, we keep doing this every day, giving him his treats, teaching some lessons. And we don't want to overdo it. And to be honest, I don't want a dog that's completely 100% obedient. I like a bit of character in a dog. You know, and a dog to, you know, like he is now, trying to get the food out of my hand. I like that in a dog. Hey Leo, you're a good boy. Good boy, aren't you, hey? So I don't want to yell at my dog and have a fully obedient dog. I'd rather just talk to the dog normally, and if he's got his little quirks, that's fine. If he does something that's really naughty, then I'll have to punish him, but generally, you know, dogs are pretty good. Hey, down. I'll just show you, ready? Okay, so I got my food, hold it in the air, look, he sits. Good boy. We can make him shake. Shake. Good boy, Leo. You're doing very well. And this one is drop, but generally he stands back up. Let's see what he does. Drop. He did drop. Good boy. Can you shake on the ground? Shake. Shake. Oh, you did shake on the ground. Good boy. Leo, come. And then I do, what's the other one I do? Hill. Leo, hill. Good boy. Hill. Good boy. And then we can, obviously, without food, he'll do some. Up. Sit. Good boy. Shake. Good boy. Drop. Even without food. But I do like to give him a treat, even on the third go. He's just such a good dog. Hey, you're a good boy. Hey, you know, it's not perfect, but it sure is bloody close. You know, and then he goes silly like this. Hey. But he's a bloody good dog. So, you know, we have some obedience in him, even though most of the time I show him he's like this, absolutely feral. You think he's got no obedience at all. But, you know, when things get serious, we can make him settle down. Lay up, hey, sit. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Sit down. Good boy. Okay. See? And then he can play when he wants to. So, he's not completely feral. Anyway, just a little extra in the video. Cheers for watching, Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Good boy. Okay. Sit. Sit down. Good boy. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are.